Who wants 10 verbal tactics that they cannot stand? Well, then stay tuned, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome back to my channel. This is where we delve into all things fascinating things to disarm and deal with and negotiate with narcissists, high conflict personalities. I teach you every single day how to deal with, shift the dynamic, and get rid of those pesky high conflict and narcissistic people in your life. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And if you are coming back, welcome back. And thank you for your continued support of this channel. Now let's dive into disarming narcissists and 10 verbal tactics that they cannot stand. All right, so the first one is refusing to argue. Well, what do they want you to do? They want you to argue, of course. Nothing fuels a narcissist like a good old-fashioned heated argument. They want you to engage with them. They want you to get into it with them. They want you to get into the mud with them. They want to pull you in. They want to get you down into it with them. So instead, stay up here, stay above that fray. Just smile, while they're trying to go fishing and drag you into it. Maintain your composure and avoid falling into that trap. Because let me tell you, it gives them supply. There's three reasons why you don't want to do that. Number one is it gives them supply. Number two is, especially if you're in litigation with them, you're negotiating with them, or you're trying to get rid of them, they're using things against you. They're looking for ways to use things against you. I always say that dealing with a narcissist in situations like this is like getting arrested. Anything you say or do is going to be used against you. Okay. And then number three is, as long as you're giving them supply, they're never, ever going to leave you alone. All right. So they're going to come back for that supply. They're like storing it up for the winter. So never, ever, ever give them a reason to keep coming back. Just stay calm. You can go scream, somewhere else, scream in your shower, cry in your pillow, beat something else, but never give them a reason to see that. All right. So refuse to argue. Don't give them that reason. Give your perspective, calmly give your perspective, but, deprive them of that conflict that they're desperately seeking from you. I hold my hand up like this. If there's nothing there to push against, then there's nothing there to come back for. Just remain calm. There's nothing there to get from you then at that point. So that's number one. Number two is the power of asking clarifying questions. It drives them absolutely crazy when you do this. When they make a statement and then you ask them to clarify their intentions, it drives them crazy too. When you ask them to explain their intentions or the purpose behind it, they hate that, because you expose inconsistencies. You expose their hidden agendas. So, what you do is you say, I just want to clarify what it is that you're saying. So in other words, what you're saying is that you don't want to continue to have this particular conversation. What you would prefer is that you remain here and I do this. And when you just simply restate back exactly as they stated it, they'll actually say, no, that's not how I stated it. Now you're stating it wrong. No, now you're misquoting me. You're wrong. You're misremembering. They get so upset because they don't like having their agendas repeated back to them. It drives them absolutely crazy. If you just simply restate or ask them clarifying questions, So just to clarify, is this what you're stating? And say it like almost innocently, say it like naively. Oh, I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand what it is that you're saying. No, help me to understand. Say it like that. I'm dense. I'm trying to understand what it is that you're saying. So moving on to tactic number 3, you can have honest compliments. While it might feel uncomfortable at times, you can give them genuine compliments. It completely disarms them because they do crave validation. They crave recognition. And so a sincere compliment at a certain time can momentarily actually soften their defenses. And, I call it ethically manipulating the manipulator. But at times, especially if you want to get something from them, sometimes I call it fluff for favor, vomit later, where can give them a compliment in exchange for getting something that you want. Oh, do you mind making dinner, or make this particular dish? You're so great at it. Do you mind grilling? Oh, everybody loves when you grill, you're so fantastic at making the steak. Nobody makes steak the way you do, or whatever it is that you want to say. Now, you have to be careful because obviously you don't want it to come off sounding inauthentic, because they can definitely tell when it's inauthentic. And you don't want to say anything good about yourself because they don't want to hear about that either. And you don't want to do it too often because then they can tell that you're pandering to them. So this is very strategic in your use of this. You're using this strategically and to your advantage. Now, let's discuss the importance of acknowledging their feelings without getting sucked into their drama. So validating their emotions sometimes without getting entangled into their manipulative games. It's a bit tricky sometimes, but the way I think of it is observing it as a third party. I can see that you are upset, appears that you are angry. I can see that you are emotional, almost as if you are a reporter reporting the news, and you don't need to get down into the mud with it. And sometimes I like to state it almost as if you're an adult looking at a child having a tantrum on the floor. You can empathize with them without being a pawn in their psychological chessboard. And remember, they're going to get insane. They're going to go crazy, and they're going to try to distract you from whatever their true intent is. And they might say all kinds of crazy things to gaslight you. Don't get sucked into that. Don't get sucked into their mud. And I have a whole video, by the way, called Insane Things That Narcissists Say to Distract Us from Their True Intent. I highly recommend that you check that out because they play these psychological games. So don't get sucked into that mud. Another one is you want to maintain a sense of boundaries while you're acknowledging the narcissist's feelings. All right, the next tactic is respectfully setting boundaries. One of the ways that I like to do this is something that I call making a plan stand. So you communicate like maybe a time limit ahead of time when you're going to go meet with them. And you say, hey, I can meet with you, but I only have 30 minutes or I only have an hour. And then when that time limit is up, you say, I have to go, whatever it is. I have a meeting afterward, or I have something. That way you psychologically know ahead of time the amount of emotional energy that you are going to be having to spend with this person. And then when that time limit is up, that's it. That's all you had to do. By asserting your boundaries, you are now starting to take control. You're starting to assert your independence. You're starting to protect your own well-being in this situation. And you're starting to now grow your independence. One of the things that I say is step 1, don't run. Step 2, make a U-turn. Step 3, break free. And that's the way I sort of picture it as far as shifting that dynamic and turning it around in baby steps, baby steps. The next one is neutrality and being objective, and how that plays a critical role in your tactics. So being neutral and objective, and by being neutral and objective in your interactions with them, it helps tremendously. So the way I like to put this is, never being defensive when you're having a conversation with them, never allowing them that satisfaction of, explaining yourself, justifying yourself, right? You never explain, justify, you never overshare, and you deny the narcissist that attention and approval that they so desperately seek. That way they don't monopolize you and control. They attempt to control you. They're going to attempt to control you, but they don't get to. And by the way, I have phrases for disarming narcissists, which I definitely recommend that you get that are for free. And you can get them at disarmthenarc.com. So disarmthenarc.com, phrases for disarming narcissists. And it's so important to differentiate genuine compliments and flattery and pandering, when it comes to disarming narcissists. Insincere praise only reinforces that narcissist. So be mindful of that distinction and giving into their manipulations. All right. So the next tactic is in staying in control of yourself, staying in control of yourself. And it's so crucial to stay in control of your own emotions and staying in control and keeping your emotions in check. So important when interacting with that narcissist. By doing so, you maintain control of yourself, of your emotions, and prevent that situation from spiraling out of control. And the part of the way that you can do that is by limiting your interaction with them and having those boundaries, because otherwise that narcissist is going to try to bait you and try to, do everything they can. They know what your Achilles heel is. They know how to, pick at you and try to get at you. So the next thing is, let's discuss the importance of mindful body language. Even subtle changes to your posture or facial expressions can impact the conversation with a narcissist and disarming that narcissist. Just subtle changes. They're so aware of your body language. And just, if you sit up straight, if you hold your hands like even a steeple pose, or you sit like this, the more confident that you can be in your body language, the more they will pick up on that. They will recognize that you now feel more powerful in yourself, and it will disarm them. You hold your head up high. They know who you are now. I mean, a powerful person is a narcissist kryptonite, a truly powerful person, a person who knows who they are. So tactic number 9 is standing your ground without being confrontational. Be firm and assertive in your discussions with a narcissist, but always maintain respect. This way you can express your opinions and your boundaries without coming across as overly aggressive. You don't have to be aggressive, but you can certainly stand firm. And finally, the last tactic is expressing your thoughts while remaining respectful. This is the power of disengagement. So sometimes the best approach is to disengage, and you can just say, I'm choosing to no longer be in this conversation, and distance yourself from toxic interactions with that narcissist, and prioritize your well-being when it's necessary to step away and say, this conversation's not working for me. And so we can resume this conversation at a time when you are calm, and that's fine. And, emphasize your own self-care and disengage from that narcissist. You can disengage respectfully, but you can disengage in a way that letting them know that their behavior is not okay for you. And there you have it. That's 10 verbal tactics to disarm yourself from a toxic person. And remember, these strategies may not change their behavior, but it's certainly going to change the way you feel about yourself and the way they will interact with you. I mean, they're not going to change as a person, but they're going to change the way they interact with you. And it maintains your own sense of well-being, and it's going to improve your own well-being and protect yourself from their manipulation. And, another way that you can protect yourself from their manipulation is by surrounding yourself with the right people. I have a private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. I highly recommend that you join that. It's a support group which will help you tremendously. And if you don't have access to good therapy, we have a sponsor on this channel, which is BetterHelp. You can go to betterhelp.com/Rebecca Zung to get access to that. We receive commissions on that. It doesn't cost you one single penny extra. We just want you to have access to help and support that you can trust that has been vetted. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, and make sure you share this video with anybody that you think would find it useful, who would find it helpful. All right. So also make sure, if you have subscribed, that you hit that notification bell as well, so that you never miss an update. If you found this helpful, I would love to know which one of these that you found the most helpful, which one of these verbal tactics that you saw that they couldn't stand, that you found to be the most interesting, the most helpful. I would love to know in the comments below, and we will respond to you below as well. So leave them in the comments below, and make sure you stay empowered, take good care of yourself. And the next video that I think that you should watch is the narcissist's favorite catchphrases, because they have a lot of those. And remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life.